Good morning. How are you doing this fine day? Me, I'm seriously considering rehab to address my tea and biscuit addiction. Thanks for asking. Before we begin, check out my new Komatsu t-shirt. I think that is a Komatsu slogan, but I think it also applies equally well to me, your personal performing monkey. We've got an absolutely packed show for you again today, so let's roll that intro. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. It's Friday, the 23rd of July, and as that bloke just said, welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. In today's show, AstraZeneca building got blown up with a bang yesterday. Construction apprentice numbers decline. Hats off to Hitachi, and who's buying Hyundais? If you've got any comments on any of these stories or anything else for that matter, please leave it in the chat and I'll get to them in just a little bit. But first, let's each give thanks to the gods on high for... Excuse me, I thought I was going to sneeze again. Let's try that again. But first, let us each give thanks to the gods on high for the celebrities delivered unto this world on this day in history. And it's a many happy returns to Roxy Music's Andy Mackay, to singer David Essex, to cricketer Graham Gooch, to actors Woody Harrelson and Harry Potter himself, Daniel Radcliffe, to Monica Lewinsky, who blew her chance at a job in the White House. But most importantly, many happy returns to Mr. Saul Hudson, better known to the world simply as Slash. Happy birthday to them, one and all. If you were watching yesterday, you'll know that I was busily putting on my hat and coat ahead of a trip down to Avonmouth to witness one of those rare and impressive animals, an explosive demolition event. And PDC and divestiture working for auction giant Marshalls did not disappoint. We're here at the former AstraZeneca site in Avonmouth, where we've just seen a mammoth blast carried out by PDC and divestiture. Just check this out. It was a cracking job all round, but there was a couple of points that really stood out for me. First, the explosive charges also triggered the displacement of around 44,000 litres of water as part of the dust suppression efforts. Now, bearing in mind it was a blazing hot day and we were just a stone's throw from the river, that dust was dissipated in a matter of seconds. So hats off for that. Hats off also on the remarkably relaxed attitude on site. Now, the site is admittedly in the middle of nowhere, and the guests, or the number of guests rather, was limited. But while everyone had a safety briefing, we were escorted at all times, and we were placed at a distance that required the use of our biggest zoom lens, it all felt remarkably relaxed rather than regimented. So hats off on that as well. And just as an aside, given that they will apparently allow any pellet to start a demolition magazine these days, how many of my kind do you think were there yesterday? 5? 10? 20? No, just the one. This guy. I mentioned this to my mate Delia last night, and she had this to say.
Where are you? Where are you? Let's be having you!
Yeah, well said, Delia. Shame about the scarf, though.
The Miller GT series heralds a new era of unrivaled power and cutting-edge intelligent coupler technology, increasing job site safety, machine versatility, and productivity. It's the added versatility that you need at the value you can afford. To find out more, visit millergroundbreaking.com.
Construction apprenticeships have been a hot topic pretty much since the invention of the hot topic. But for all the talk of how apprentices would be an integral part of Britain's Build Back Better initiative, it seems that would-be apprentices have other ideas. Rather than an increase in industry apprentices to meet the growing demand for workers, the latest data from the Department of Education actually shows the industry attracted 2,000 fewer last year. Brian Berry, Chief Executive of the Federation of Master Builders, said 2,000 fewer new apprentices is the opposite of what is needed to tackle the critical skill shortage in the construction industry. The government's levelling up agenda is at risk if support to encourage and incentivise careers in construction isn't turbocharged immediately. Immediately after yesterday's blast in Avonmouth, I jumped back in the car and hurried back at a rate just slightly north of the legal speed limit to be back in front of a computer by 6 p.m. The reason for my barely legal haste? Hitachi's much anticipated Get Connected virtual event. Now, you have to bear in mind that I'm already jaded with virtual events. I've sat through what feels like hundreds of these damn things over the past year, and I now go into them with the same feeling of dread that I used to prepare myself with for death by PowerPoint live presentations. However, Hitachi proved that virtual events can be exciting and educational, enjoyable and informative. And best of all, the presentation really evoked HCM UK's North-East roots. Now, the event lasted for just over half an hour, and I know you've all got work to be getting on with, so I won't show you the whole thing. But take a look at this hastily cobbled together highlight reel. If you missed last night's event and if you'd like to see the whole thing, and I would recommend that you do, you will find a link in the description in today's show. I owe the good folks at Hyundai an apology. I actually received the news I'm about to share a few days ago, but it apparently went sideways in my email system. However, I'm delighted to report that, somewhat belatedly, that the UK's first Hyundai HL975A CVT wheel loader has been sold to long-term customer DA Harrison. The wheel loader weighs in at 27 tonnes and is able to carry buckets with capacities of up to 5.2 cubic metres. The machine's Stage 5 compliant Cummins engine features an all-in-one exhaust after-treatment system. One of the major benefits of the power package is the lack of an EGR system, which is expected to significantly reduce operating costs over the lifetime of the machine. So congratulations to DA Harrison on this new addition to its fleet, and congratulations also to Taylor and Braithwaite, the local dealer, for securing the deal. And my apologies once again to those fine folks over at Hyundai for my tardiness. As soon as the show ends, I intend to take a large hammer to my email server.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or, better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
NFDC press releases apparently are like London buses. You wait an age and then two come along at once. So let's take a look at this. Waste wood, blah, 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 long process, blah, 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 Howard Button, blah, blah, working for our members, blah, blah. Right, unless there's any other business, I will declare this episode of the Breakfast Show adjourned. And as this is Friday, it is Friday, right? This is our last show of the week. But if you find yourself at a loose end tomorrow, then you might like to check out our omnibus episode of the Weekend Wrap. I have a funny feeling that this week's roundup show might contain more than a few mentions of the ongoing Didcot scandal. I will roll the outro in just a second, and then I'll hop over into the chat to see what you've all got to say. Before I do that, I do want to apologise. Literally, as I came on here, our link to the LinkedIn system apparently went down. I have no idea what caused that. So, yeah, my apologies. If you were planning to tune in on LinkedIn, I don't even know why I'm apologising. If you were planning to tune in there and you're not seeing me, how would you know I was apologising? So there you are. That's where we are in the world. As I say, I'm going to hop over into the chat in just a second. But until then, have a great day. More importantly, have a great weekend. I can tell by the look of you that you've more than earned it. Stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. And thanks, as ever, for watching.